So moving on, green hydrogen is at the center of Oman's long-term decarbonization strategy. The next panel examines the strategic, technical, and financial pathways that enable the transition and how Oman can build durable competitive advantage in a global market that is still taking shape. Please join me in welcoming our moderator to the stage, Dr. Marwa Al-Azzawi, Director at LBST, alongside her guests. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our panel discussion. The title of the panel is From Blue to Green, Navigating the Transition in Hydrogen Production. As we all know, hydrogen became a key pillar in the energy transition, but we cannot deny that blue hydrogen or low-carbon hydrogen can also play an important role in decarbonizing different sectors and establishing the infrastructure for future green hydrogen. In today's discussion, we will explore how we can move from low-carbon fuel or from conventional fuel, for example, because we are still in the conventional fuel era, to green hydrogen, while ensuring competitiveness, reliability, scalability, and investment confidence. My name is Dr. Marwa Al-Azzawi. I am a senior consultant and director of Middle East, working on hydrogen strategy, policy, and pre-certification according to the European scheme Certify. And I would like to introduce my panelists. I have with me Mr. Saif Al-Abri from Hydrom on my right side. Saif is an account manager at Hydrom, supporting the advancement of hydrogen of Oman green hydrogen sector through strategic project coordination and stakeholder engagement. He brings experience in contract engineering, procurement, and large-scale projects, and he was involved also in the strategic fuel reserve project as well as Hyperduqm. In his current role, he plays an important role in working closely with the project developers and government stakeholders to support the implementation of Oman clean energy and hydrogen ambitions. I also have our next panelist, Mr. Hilal Shibli. Mr. Hilal Shibli is an industrial professional with more than 20 years of experience across the refinery, petrochemical, and metal sector. As a Sohar branch manager of SanQ, he leads the operation with focus on performance and operation excellence. And we also have Mr. Musallam Al-Awaid. Mr. Musallam Al-Awaid is the head of production management and business development at OQBI in Salalah, Oman. With a background in chemical and process engineering and technology management, he leads the production planning, commercial operation, and strategic growth across LPG, methanol, and ammonia acids, with a focus on operation excellence, decarbonization, and sustainable growth. And we have with us our last panelist, Mr. Adrian Moborje. Mr. Adrian leads the project development at Sinhelion in the MENA region, focusing on advancing next generation and fuel project toward final investment decision before 2028. Mr. Adrian, based in Zurich, he brings extensive experience in renewable project development, financing, and market expansion across the renewable energy projects such as wind and solar. Welcome, everyone, and I'm glad to be with you in this session. My first question goes to, of course, the orchestrator of the hydrogen strategy in Oman. So the first question to you, Mr. Saif, how is Hydrom supporting Oman transition toward a green hydrogen?
Thank you, Marwa. First of all, thank you for having me in this panel discussion. I think the first decision made by the government to help the transition in Oman to hydrogen is establishment of Hydrom. So Hydrom was established in 2022 by a royal decree. And it's basically to orchestrate the green hydrogen sector in Oman. So the government have allocated 50,000 kilometers square of lands dedicated only for hydrogen production. And those lands are basically master planned and auction, and we are doing auction rounds, very transparent auction rounds, and to allocate those lands to international investors. So we have executed two auction rounds starting from 2022 and 2023 as well, and resulted in actually currently we have 7 projects active, where one of the projects is in Dokum, where it's under construction, with the first shipment of green hydrogen will be expected by Q1 2027 next year. So, but beyond the auction rounds and also the allocation of lands, Hydrum's role is beyond that scope also. It's work on the local demand development, infrastructure planning, and also the entire ecosystem of the green hydrogen. When you see the transition, so Hydrum is seeing the transition. The transition should be pragmatic, to be honest. But Oman's long-term transition is toward green hydrogen only. It's not a blue. This is deliberate choice, and it's driven by several factors. For example, we have the world-class renewable resources, basically in Dokom and Salalah, with potential renewable energy of combined solar and wind. Wind capacity factor reached to 45%, and also solar capacity factor reached around 25%. Also, why we are going for green? This is one of the factors. Also, we would like to align with the export market, specifically in the certification terms in Europe and in Asia. And also, we have the vast, the land is available for green hydrogen. So we don't want to lose that opportunities. And this is why Oman is heading toward green hydrogen directly, and also an appointed Hydrum to be the orchestrator of the green hydrogen sector, the full ecosystem in Oman.
Thank you, Mr. Saif. My next question goes to Mr. Hilal Shibli. How can Oman and Sohar position themselves as leaders in the hydrogen and clean fuel economy? And as Saif mentioned, Hydrom and Oman has been working on developing the right environment for the developers to start their projects. So can you tell us, based on your experience?
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Marwa, for these good questions. In fact, I will build up on what my colleague Saif, he said. It's very good information. So Oman have very good factors really to go for the hydrogen economy. So the solar energy and the wind energy in Oman, it's available for very long times. Some countries, they do have solars. They might not have wind. Some of them, they do have winds, but not for a long time. They don't have enough lights. However, Omans have both. And this is very good pillars where Oman really have enough clean energy to start the hydrogen. Everybody knows that Oman have very strategic geographic positions where it's open to the markets, it's open to the Indian Oceans, can export, and for a very long time, Oman been on the middle of the routes where lots of contents, they use Oman as a transit. With geopolitics and a lot of conflicts, these factors become more and more, and Oman really built on that. So the infrastructures of the pipeline and with oil and gas expertise over the last 50 years make Oman in a strong positions of the hydrogen markets. Looking for some particular area like Suhar port and free zones, Tukum and Salalah. Oman was successful to build industrial clusters where a lot of business really gathers, and we do have enough of industries. Either they make the carbon dioxide or they may consume the hydrogens in the futures. So one more factors that nowadays Oman have invest a lot on the locals. So the talents really it's on the sides of Oman to play a great role of the hydrogen markets. I know that there is enough programs, there is a lot of universities start to invest and teach them postgraduate programs in sustainabilities, energy transitions, hydrogens, circular economies. That's all make Oman is in a good positions really. And the allies of Oman, we can say like European countries, they do believe that Oman is a reliable partner, so they start to invest here. I'm not sure, but I do believe that investments on the green hydrogens, it's already crossed 16 billions Oman riyals, and that's really huge. And with all these happening on the ground right now, I do believe Oman will be one of the leading countries on the hydrogen market. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hilal. I mean, we all agree on the capacity building is an important factor to develop this sector in Oman. And one of the things that I have seen in the last few years, I mean, I remember the first green hydrogen conference in Oman was at Geotech at the German University in 2019. During that conference, most of the people who participated in the conference were European and mainly Germans. And now if we see all the talks and the discussion is happening by Omanis. So we can see the amount of knowledge that developed in only 4 to 5 years. My next question is to Mr. Musallem. In your view, what role can, I mean, we know Oman is not focusing on blue hydrogen, but do you think a blue hydrogen can play a role in enabling and accelerating the transition towards large green hydrogen economy?
First of all, thank you for having me here. Blue hydrogen is, we don't see blue hydrogen as competing with green hydrogen, but it's rather complementing it. If we see, today we can produce blue hydrogen using the existing facilities or existing units by integrating carbon capture to that. And meanwhile, during the same time, we can scale up the green hydrogen projects. So both will be running in parallel, actually. But green hydrogen, blue hydrogen is like enabler for immediate reduction of carbon by integrating carbon capture and storage, while paving the road for the green hydrogen projects to the time when it is available. So developing green hydrogen today has a lot of challenges. It's going on. that has to continue in parallel to the blue hydrogen, but and scale it up. Production-wise, as of today, there is around of 100 million metric ton of hydrogen produced around the world. Just replacing that by green hydrogen, there are a lot of challenges today. So the bridge to that will be the blue hydrogen, which has very high potential or immediate effect on the reduction while scaling up the green hydrogen. So we see both are complementing each other rather than competing, actually.
Thank you. And we can also see this from the development of the low carbon methodology by Europe. So it was just established last year, it was announced, and now there is a methodology on low carbon fuel where you also need to reduce the threshold by 70%, similar to RFMBO. Mr. Adrian, Synhelion processes an alternative way to produce renewable fuel. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me better? Thank you. Yes, so if you allow me, I will broaden a bit the topic and present you the alternative to hydrogen that Synhelion used to produce synthetic fuels. First, Synhelion is a Swiss company, 70 people, was founded in the labs of ETH Zurich, and its first investor, Eni, the Italian oil gas, extracted it and transformed it from a technology developer. We own 22 family of patents, to a fuel producer. We now have a production plant in Germany, and we're also a project developer now. That's why I'm here, actually. So we are a fuel producer. We produce eSAF, we produce SAF, also renewable diesel, renewable gasoline. And our fuel are drop-in, meaning that they are 100% compatible with the existing infrastructure, storage, aircraft. And our off-taker are companies like Lufthansa Group, Pilatus, the airport of Zurich, AMAG, which is the biggest car importer in Switzerland. Now, how does it work? In simple terms, we combine the cheapest source of carbon, which is biomass, with the cheapest source of electricity, renewable electricity, to produce fuel. And in technical terms, if there are chemists in the room, we do mixed reforming of biogas to produce syngas, and we then synthesize this syngas into syncrude, which is refined, upgraded into the different fuel mentioned. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question is also to you. Do you have plans to enter Oman market, or do you have operation in Oman?
So we don't have operation in Oman. We are in an exploration phase. We are looking at different locations. Port Dukum and the special zone there is very interesting. There is a great port, and there is a refinery. And we were there last year. We were also at the Economic Forum in Dukum in October, and looking forward to the next step. We are having, of course, discussion with important players there, which we cannot disclose, but we are looking forward to.
And what type of fuel you are considering?
So, SAF, eSAF, renewable diesel, and gasoline.
Interesting. Okay, my next question is to Mr. Hilal Shibli. What are the key challenges and solutions in transitioning from, I would say, conventional to green hydrogen?
Okay. So, Doctor, you have mentioned that we are now in the conventionals era. That's correct. So the transitions, it's not a very rapid process. It's really, there is a lot of milestones we have to do. So first of all, that we still use the gas. Aligned with that, we have to capture the carbon's emissions. Means the first step is how to improve the process, is not how to jump from the blue to the green. This is the main things we have to recognize. And the blue hydrogen is existing. A green hydrogen is a long term. So if we want really to move to the long-term goal, first we have to develop enough infrastructures. We need to build exporting, bunkering, processings. We should have also the mature technologies. You know that the technology of hydrogen is still in the developing phase. Also, the main factors is how fast we can decrease the cost of the the clean energy. If we can secure the solar energy or the wind energy in a good cost, at that time really we can accelerate the movement or the transitions from the blue to the green. Material science is one of the big headache, because you know that hydrogen is not easy to store, it's not easy to export as well. It's required high standards of safety. So all that exercise and homework we have to do. So we cannot say it's a challenge where we can say that really where's the next opportunities. And again, to do all that, we have to build the capacity. We should have enough talents, enough R&D, research and developments. As well, we should have the policies. Means if we believe that we need to survive in a good planet with clean energy, we should dedicate enough budget to do all the researches. And that's not an easy way. That's not easy to convince the companies to, for example, spend 5% of 10% of their profit to go ahead with sponsoring the R&D. So it might take a time. However, that's both green hydrogen and blue hydrogen will continue going in parallel for a long time. And we need it to remain in this way, because jumping from blue to green might be very expensive, but going to parallel, I think that's the best way to optimize the cost. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Hilal. I will continue on the same topic regarding the challenges. And Mr. Musallam, I would like to ask you, based on your experience, since you work in the methanol and ammonia sector, and at the moment all the production we would say in Oman is gray production, what are the technical and commercial challenges that you are facing in order to transition from the gray to green?
Thank you again for this very good question, and it is happening as we talk. The ultimate goal is green, actually. That is something we are moving towards it. But blue is a transition stage where we integrate the carbon capture, and that is still very expensive when it comes to the carbon capture, but overall is more economical compared to the green. We don't say that green is not feasible, probably feasible or not, but it has to continue. in parallel to the blue hydrogen. The challenge when it comes to the green, there are many challenges. If we say commercial-wise, there is today very little off-takers ready to have long-term off-take agreements. And that's why many of these projects are not moving to the FID. The blue hydrogen will pave the road for that. Means it will create a demand. How to have off-take agreements just by creating demand for the green hydrogen, which is not there today. We think that will happen mainly if the regulators, the policymakers, the government start mandating that. The other challenge is actually the cost of production is very high, so means the price also will be very high, which is another challenge. The capacity as of today, as I mentioned earlier, the production of hydrogen today is around 100 million metric ton. So replacing that by green hydrogen will take quite a long of time, and also we need to have a lot of renewable energy available, which is also challenging. So building on the capacity, optimizing the cost, this will happen in parallel with the transition period of blue hydrogen. The third challenge which I see today is the infrastructure, which I think my colleagues here already highlighted. Hydrogen is not openly traded. It's mainly used at the production side. So trading it means full infrastructure from pipelines, from export terminals, receiving terminals, shipping, liquefying that. So all of these things are challenging. I think the path towards green is definite, but it will be through blue hydrogen while building up on or scaling up the green hydrogen projects.
Thank you. Mr. Adrian, Mr. Musallem mentioned that the cost is an issue. So can Saint Helien produce at a low cost, and what are the important success factor criteria for low carbon production or renewable production?
I see three important success factors: the sustainability, the competitivity, and sovereignty is a new one also. So sustainability, it's clear. We have the mission also to help the planet, and the regulation is here to push us to do it. In the SAF industry, for instance, in Europe, the regulation gives mandate to the airline to offtake renewable fuel. But it's not enough. We see that many H2 projects do not see the day because costs are too high. And so competitivity is very important, because if you don't get off-taker, then you don't get the investor and FID, and you don't build the capacity to produce the fuel. So competitivity is really important. And at Saint Helien, we try to develop a product which is competitive. And we saw DNV, the consulting firm, validated that at scale. So when we reach the size of the plant we want to build, 500 kiloton per year, our fuel, the levelized cost of fuel, will reach less than €1 per liter. So competitivity is important, but also sovereignty, and we saw it with COVID, then also in the Western world, more and more protectionism, and now with all the geopolitical turmoil, if a pathway to produce fuel allows a country to produce the fuel where it is consumed, it's also a great advantage.
Thank you. My last question goes to Hydro. Mr. Saif, we know in Oman strategy the focus is to produce in order to export. Is there a possibility to create a demand for a local utilization, and how is Hydrom working on that?
Yeah, thank you, Marwa. I think I'll be quick because we are running out of time. So at Hydrom, we see the green hydrogen journey is more than a project pipeline. Yes, the export is important, but also how we create a value within Oman. And that's why we have engaged with several industries in Oman. For example, refineries, fertilizer, e-methanol, the methanol. And one example, as Musallam mentioned, is the OQBI. Despite all the challenges, technically and commercially, we would like to navigate through that. And the work in progress still. We have also the ETB, the Energy Transition Plan, where the Minister of Energy and Minerals have a circular for the DRI and the steel makers. We're encouraging them to transit from national national gas to hydrogen by 2030, gradually until I think 50% or 80% by 2050. We have one example. I think one of our projects, Amna project, have already signed an MOU with Mirante Steel, where they have as a potential off-takers. And now they are discussing the term sheet with them. We have also another opportunity or another initiatives, for example, in the mobility, how we can see the green hydrogen play a role in the mobility as well, and also the green data centers, where we have on the table currently, what do you call it, energy solution that combine renewable energy and hydrogen to supply a reliable power source to the green data centers. And that's what we are looking for. These are part of the initiatives that hydrogen is working. And of course, as I said, the export is important, but also creating value in Oman it's also a value.
Thank you. This is really interesting. We still have 2 minutes, so I would like to open the floor for any questions. Do we have any questions from the audience? Nothing? Yes.
Thank you so much. This is Haytham Ambusaidi from Sankyu. First, Mr. Salam, thank you so much for all the insights. You mentioned very important points about the market, about the price as well. And I will start from some of the reports highlighting that the price in the bill of utilizing the green hydrogen will be somehow 6 to 7 times than the energy which is currently produced from the natural gas. And from there, I will go to Mr. Badr. So how are you actually planning to sustain any economic model of a green hydrogen project here in Oman, taking into consideration that the price of the final product is still very high compared to the natural gas?
Anyone want to take this? You can start and
Yeah, my addition is just we are saying as of today, but we are expecting as we go ahead that the cost for production will be optimized while we are using the blue hydrogen as a transition phase. And as I mentioned, also regulators and policymakers are very important enablers in that. So I will hand over that to Hydrom team.
Yes, I think you are correct, Musallam. You are correct that the green hydrogen price is currently it's much higher than the gray hydrogen or the blue hydrogen itself. But in the long term, we have seen from last year and the year before that the price of hydrogen is become lower. It's driven by, for example, the competitive renewable energy that Omanis have, and also we can see if there is a clear decarbonization policies for example, in Europe or in Asia coming soon. I think the the gap will be closed, and the green hydrogen will be attractive for the demand user or the end user as well.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my panelists. It was a pleasure to be with you on this panel. And thank you to the audience.